I remember June 2019 very well. Theresa May had resigned, not that surprisingly, disaster. And there was now a question about who was going to replace her. And Robert Jenrick, Oliver Dowden, and Rishi Sunak wrote a piece for The Times. These three people, Jenrick, Suella Braverman's poodle, Oliver Dowden, the former digital culture, media and sportsman who didn't do much more than Nadine Dorries, and Rishi Sunak, the current Prime Minister. These three catapulted Boris into power. And, Boris, who had been described by so many people as being unfit for office, and yet here he was being recommended as the most likely candidate who could lead Britain through Brexit, who could lead the NHS back to functioning glory through levelling up, the person who could redeem the BBC and save Channel 4. Of course, all this is rubbish. And now he's been drummed out of the House of Commons, and Nadine Dorries has flounced off along with somebody who I've never heard of, called Adams. It's a bit of a mess. The problem is, how much is Rishi Sunak culpable not only for getting rid of Nadine Dorries, but also for putting Boris there in the first place? And he may have delivered the final blow to Boris. He may have overturned the deal that he apparently made with Boris 10 days ago in the Prime Minister's office in the Commons. He may have failed to put Nadine Dorries' name forward to the committee that was overseeing the peerage recommendation. On a technicality, he may have inadvertently or intentionally stopped Nadine getting her peerage, frustrated the lady. Well, maybe so. Is it enough to redeem him from having been one of the trinity of acolyte bearers, of acolytes who recommended Boris in the first place? Acolyte or flamethrower. Rishi Sunak was silently and loyally Boris's second all the way through COVID, ending up as Chancellor, ending up with a serious chance of becoming Prime Minister. It was Rishi Sunak's name that was on everybody's lips during the COVID period. And then suddenly it went sour, and somebody from Number 10 was briefing against him. The dark arts. And Rishi has managed to use the dark arts himself. Who would have thought it? Who would have thought it indeed? Is it enough to turn things in Rishi's favour? I don't think so. Rishi is presiding over the end of this Conservative administration and probably over the end of the Conservative Party as we know it. Now, should the Labour Party give a cheer? No, because the Labour Party will be entering office slightly unprepared, still reeling from the experience of Corbyn, and defined by negatives rather than positives, defined by what they are not, in the same way as the Conservative Party is trying to define itself at the moment. We are not Johnsonists. Well, what are they? And that is the problem. And at the same time, the Labour Party will enter power without a functioning opposition. And that will be dangerous, not only for the Labour Party, but for the country as well. We will be in the same position that we've been certainly for the last 10 years. It's not good. It's not good at all. And we need to repair and reclaim a functioning political life.